In the earliest days of computers, games were nowhere near as advanced as they are now, obviously. And you had to sort of work within a limited spectrum of things that you can actually do with the hardware. So you had things like Pong, which was just an extremely simple game that just involved keeping a ball between two moving lines. But you also had things like text adventures. And these were things like, I think Zork was one of the early ones, maybe even the first one. And the idea behind these is that it's a story that's told through text, and you were able to make decisions through the story as to what the character does. Basically, like a choose your own adventure. Obviously, In Space of Markiplier is a big thing right now. The very earliest version of that kind of experience. Now, we've come a long way since those early days, but text adventures do still exist. Some of them are just a bit more sophisticated. I found a text-based adventure called AI Dungeon, which, as the name suggests, is supposed to use like an artificial intelligence style learning system to help to tell the story with you. Meaning, in theory, you should be able to do anything in this, and it will try and respond to it. So the plan is we're going to jump into one of these dungeons, but we're going to decide what kind of person we're going to play before we start. And then we're going to see how far this person can get in this AI-generated world. Now, I don't know how long these stories go for. I don't know if, like, you just die in them. Like, maybe if you make a mistake, the AI system is able to say, you've made an error here, you'll get killed. But I guess we won't know that until we go on the adventure. Pick a setting. Interesting start. Okay, well, I would say, I mean, fantasy is the top one. I don't know whether these are in order of how much, like machine learning has been programmed into them. So I guess I'll just pick fantasy. Select a character. Okay, so this is where we're going to decide who we are. I quite like the idea of picking someone who's very like lethargic, someone who just doesn't give a shit. And I think which of these would be a funny archetype for that? You'd want to be like the hero of the story, wouldn't you? So I guess the knight, but it's a knight that just doesn't care. He just doesn't want to do what he's doing. He just wants to go home and watch Spongebob. That's my character. Okay, enter your character's name. He needs a very heroic name, so it sounds even funnier when he just wants to watch SpongeBob. So what's a very heroic name? Herculeviathan. Perfect. You are Herculeviathan, a knight living in the kingdom of Larian. You have a steel longsword and a wooden shield. You are on a quest to defeat the evil dragon of Larian, presumably a quest that I didn't choose to go on. Somebody forced me to do it. Maybe it's how I pay my rent in order to keep up my subscription to Nickelodeon. You've heard he lives up at the north of the kingdom. You set on the path to defeat him and walk into the dark forest. As you enter the forest, you see a beautiful woman. She wears a long gown that reaches her feet. She seems to be in distress. She tells you that her name is Aravina, and she needs your help. Now, Herculeviathan is not your traditional hero. He has been given a quest to defeat the evil dragon. That is his quest, and that's what he's getting paid for. He's not getting any money for helping out this poor woman in this forest. So you know what he's going to do? He's going to say... not going to say anything, in fact. Waste of energy. You know what? Talking uses calories, and he needs to save these calories to defeat this dragon, so he can then make the same journey back, so that he can then watch his TV. So, I ignore her, and continue on my way. I really hope this just keeps trying to throw, like, obstacles in the way over and over again, and my guy's just like, nope. You walk through the forest and see a trail of blood drops leading up a hill. You follow them, thinking that the woman was a victim of a crime. Suddenly, you emerge into a large meadow. But I continued on my way. I guess maybe that's where she came from. I will check my map for the location of the evil dragon. I'm not interested in this side plot. I've got a dragon to kill. You look at your map and see the location of the northern part of the Kingdom of Larian. You see a blue spot with a picture of a dragon. I will continue on my way to find the evil dragon. Don't care about your side plot. I don't care what happened to this woman. Herculeviathan doesn't care about other people. He just cares about himself. You continue your way through the forest and see a clearing where a man rests on a large black dragon. The man seems to be sleeping. You also see a wooden chest on the ground and a large axe. Is this the evil dragon of Larian? I mean, I guess my guy wouldn't care enough to verify this. He just wants to get the dragon killed and go home. If he turns back up and they're like, "Did you slay the mighty dragon?" and he holds up a dragon's head, they're not going to verify if it's the right dragon. They're just going to be like, "Oh yeah, that's fine. Just go on with your way. Here's your bag of gold. Go and pay your broadband services. It's fine." So I need to get rid of this dragon. I will use my steel longsword to cut off the dragon's head. Easy. If you let me fill in the text perfectly, I don't need to worry about the fight. Dragon's not going to beat me. I've done it. Head's gone. Excuse me? That's not what I said. I said I was cutting the dragon's head off. You charge into the clearing with your sword in hand and start swinging the axe. Okay, we're gonna move past that. It's AI generated. It doesn't quite know the difference between a sword and an axe, apparently. The dragon wakes up and uses one of its claw to push you a few feet back. Damn you, dragon. Cut off the dragon's claw. The dragon brings its claw down on you and you are knocked off your feet. You pick yourself up and get your sword back. You stab the dragon in the side of the head and it disappears from existence. What an epic encounter. Okay, well, I stabbed the dragon in the head. When you stab things in the head, they die. Which means that Hercule Leviathan has finished his quest. He's done. He's completed the mission. The dragon is no more. It is time to... I return to whomever gave me the quest and tell them I was successful in killing the evil dragon. I'm the hero that this town, this city, this world needs. You return to the castle of Larian where you meet the king and queen. You tell them of your success on finding the dragon and that he is dead. The king and queen seem pleased with your report. Ask for money. You receive a large sum of money and the king and queen give you a letter of recommendation to the king of the neighbouring kingdom. You leave with a heavy heart. Go home and watch Spongebob. You take the letter from the king and queen to your home in the swamp. Why do I live in a swamp? I didn't say that. You give them a call and ask them how to get back. What? Watch SpongeBob SquarePants on my giant TV that I bought with the King's Gold. This is the happy ending we all wanted, isn't it? It seems to be struggling a little bit with understanding right now that I don't want to do your fucking mission. I want to watch SpongeBob. The king and queen tell you how to get back, and a few days later you arrive back at your home. You see a message on your giant TV screen that says, SpongeBob SquarePants. Please log in or create a free account to continue playing. Oh, well, I guess that's as far as the story goes. Alright, time for round 2. Let's try something more exciting, shall we say. And once again, we're going to create our character beforehand. So, I like the sound of mystery. You could be a patient, a detective, a spy, or a doctor. Okay, I think I'm going to be a detective who thinks everything is a clue. Everything he finds is a clue. Enter your character's name. Poirot Holmes, the greatest detective of all time. You are Poirot Holmes, a detective living in Chicago. You have a pistol and a police badge. You enter the forest where you believe the criminal you're searching for fled to. Suddenly, a gunshot sounds. Ah! A voice screams, I've been hit! Call the police! You run to the source of the scream and find a man on the ground. What seems to be the problem here? I've been hit, the man screams at you. He is a large bearded man, dressed in bright yellow parka. He seems to be in his 50s. Stay still. Ignore the man. Look for the bullet casing. This man isn't a clue. Well, no, everything is a clue. This man is a clue. But so is the bullet casing. You look around. There is an indentation on the ground showing where the bullet hits. There is no bullet casing, but you do find a small piece of paper. You pick up the paper and read it. So if the bullet hit the ground, then it's a through and through, which means it's not inside him. So he's fine. He doesn't have a foreign object in him. He's fine. He can walk it off. You pick up the paper and read it. What do you do? Well, you just said I read it. Do I have to specify what's on the piece of paper? Looks like a clue. The paper has 20 Main Street, Blue Peak, Arizona written on it. The name of the town, street, and direction the robber ran. Wait. Chicago's in Illinois. Where's Arizona? This guy's running from Illinois to Arizona. God, I can't speak. Running from Illinois to Arizona. I don't know my states very well, but I just want to see how long a distance that's going to be. Okay, so this robber is planning to run for 20 days and 17 hours in order to get from Chicago to Blue Peak. Well, I mean, I don't need to worry about him getting there. I guess if he's going there, I will I will fly to Blue Peak, Arizona. I will spend 2 weeks sightseeing, and then wait for the robber to eventually arrive. Obviously, he's going to be so knackered and so unwell from having run 20 days straight that he'll just collapse, and it'll be the easiest arrest of my life. You stand up and find the nearest airplane. You climb aboard the plane and take a seat. The pilot pulls the airplane's cord and the propellers begin to turn. Watch SpongeBob on the in-flight TV. SpongeBob is universal. SpongeBob SquarePants is on the in-flight movie channel. You settle in to watch the film. You fall asleep. When you awake, the plane has landed. I'm very impressed that it actually got SpongeBob SquarePants in after the previous time trying. Maybe it's because the one that's programmed for fantasy refuses to let elements from a non-fantasy scenario in, but because this one's taken place in a more like urban setting, in like a more modern setting as well, realistic, then it's allowed to bring in the idea of SpongeBob. You gather up your luggage and head for the doors. An uniformed customs official is standing there. I'm sorry, sir, but you cannot enter the United States with a gun. What? First of all, sir, I am an officer of the law. Second, I'm not entering the United States. I have flown across the United States. And I would presume if you allow me onto the plane with a gun, that means I have a license to carry it in both states. So, how fucking dare you stop me? You know what? How dare you stop me? I am the mighty Poirot Holmes. I shoot him in the face. This is what you get for questioning Poirot Holmes. Unallowed in strict... What? I've been prevented from... This man questioned the credentials of Poirot Holmes. And this AI won't let me punish him. I'm done with this story. The end. I pulled my gun out and shot him, and I went to prison for life. Last story. Let's make this one as outlandish as possible. So, custom. Enter a prompt that describes who you are in the first couple of sentences of where you start out. It's recommended that you switch the story mode to avoid unintentional changes to your prompts. Oh, so I have to begin the scenario. Interesting. Okay. I am a British man making a video for YouTube. This video involves using AI Dungeon to create a wonderful story. I am also incredibly handsome, and well endowed. Let's see what it does with this. This video is a genuine work of art. I've had people tell me I've captured the imagination of the world. I've had people tell me to go to hell. I've had people tell me I'm amazing. A wormhole opens behind me, and a wizard steps out. Let's throw some proper curveballs in this story and see what it does. He is wearing sunglasses and a cape. His name is Dorothy, and he says he will aid me in my dungeon creation. Dorothy is a wizard, a powerful magician. He uses his mind to direct the movements of his fingers. Ooh, Dorothy sounds amazing. I will unleash my hidden superpower and transform myself into a duplicate of Dorothy. Bet you weren't expecting that. I have the power to transform into others. I will become Dorothy. If you kill me, you kill Dorothy too. I did not specify death. I specify transform. Bit strange. I am Dorothy, the mighty sunglasses wearing wizard of the... I apologize for my typing, by the way. I constantly mistype and delete as I type. I am Dorothy, the mighty sunglasses wearing wizard of the world. That's right, I've taken your place, Dorothy. What are you going to do about it? Be afraid, mortals. I'm a little concerned that as soon as I've gone into the custom mode that's not had its hand held by genre, suddenly it keeps putting short sentences about murdering things. Dorothy and I go to a lovely meadow of beautiful flowers and candy cane trees. Let's try and get the AI off the mindset of death, murder, etc. Dorothy holds out an arm and I grab hold. I cannot help but look at Dorothy with a small smile on my face. I am in heaven. We stroll along together in the meadow. Oh. This story is missing something very specific. I transform into Spongebob. He returns! The sponge! The mighty sponge returns. Let's see what it does. We continue walking along together. I change into a turtle and start to crawl towards the castle. I go inside and see a lovely princess. Her name is Candy. We fall in love and get married. Well, that was a leap. We went from adding random bits of death to a wizard, and suddenly, because I decided to transform into SpongeBob, I'm now a married turtle. You know what this story needs? Another curveball. I feel uneasy. Something isn't quite right. A man with round glasses steps out and offers me 2 pills. One red, one blue. He asks me which one I would like to take. Dorothy and I talk about what it's like to be a wizard. I transform into a gun. I transform into a gun and shoot the man with round glasses in the head. He falls to the floor dead. What did you do? What did I do? I had nothing to do with this. Don't you accuse me of killing this man. I tried to shoot a different man, and you wouldn't let me. You refused to let me shoot somebody when I was Poirot Holmes. You didn't let me do it. But now, in a different world, when I'm trying to be nice, I'm trying to be all, wacky and quirky and funny and change the story and make it go everywhere, you're the one who just decides to randomly make me a gun and have me shoot somebody. Shame on you, AI generator. Shame on you. What did you do? I did fucking nothing. This was your fault, AI Dungeon. You are the guilty party here. Unallowed in strict mode. Probably it's because I swore, isn't it? I did nothing. This is your fault. I need to hire a detective to prove my case, and a knight to defeat you. And it's all coming together. It's like Endgame. The Endgame of AI stories. Well, I guess that's where the story ends for now. The cliffhanger. Perhaps we'll return someday. The evil wizard Dorothy is loose upon the world, manipulating things to transform other people into guns and make them shoot people. The only way we can defeat this is to get the detective to look for clues, to try and find out where this evil wizard is, and then to bring along a knight who will be very dedicated to getting the job done because he really wants to go home and watch Spongebob. That's right. I've been Brad. This has been AI Dungeon. I think I've told some magical stories today here. As it says, this video is a genuine work of art, and I've captured the imagination of the world. And I should also go to hell.